Hi friends, my name is Narasimha and I'm pursuing my BTech in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College. Today, as a part of my AIT TikTok videos, in the subject of soft skills and interpersonal communication, I want to explain a topic named verbal and non-verbal communication and their types. First of all, we are all familiar with all of these words in my topic, that is verbal, non-verbal, communication, etc. First of all, what is this communication? When we want to express or share our views or ideas with others, the only bridge which connects the sender and the receiver means the person speaker means who is giving the message or the knowledge to the receiver. The bridge which connects both of them is the communication. So in that communication, the two major communications are verbal communication and non-verbal communication. Simple words, I want to say that if you are saying or if you are writing a letter to your friend, so it's a verbal communication. Or if you are interacting with your friend and you're you're saying your message or expressing your situation or a panic situation with the help of gestures or the postures or the hand movements, it's all are come under non-verbal communication. Let's go into the deep. Verbal and non-verbal communication. Verbal and non-verbal are the two important modes of communication processes which enable people in sharing ideas, thoughts, and information among each other. The process of communication is one of the makes it possible for transmitting the message from sender to recipient. Sender is a person who starts the communication by designing and sending the message, whereas recipient is the person who ends it by reading the message and providing feedback to sender. Which I said before, sender is a person who shares the message, while the recipient is a person who receives the message or reads the message of the sender. Verbal communication. In this type of communication, words are employed to transmit ideas or information. This can be done in the form of verbal interactions or through written or text messages such as letters, emails, electronic mails, telegrams, SMS, and other contemporary modes of transmission. We all are familiar with this in our real world, such as texting, like in WhatsApp, or sharing a message to huge number of people, like tweets in a Twitter, and in Instagram, sharing our message to our near ones, or SMS or message to the form of letters, emails in a professional world, telegrams in our colleges, etc., etc., etc. There are many platforms for sharing our information. This is known as the text format information sharing is known as verbal communication. Let's see some of the types of verbal communication. Interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is nothing but the internal dialogue people usually engage in. This type of communication takes place when a person talks to themselves. So you are talking to yourself such as, will I do this work today or not? Will I get the job or not? Will I will be not scolded by the parents or not? You all think to yourself in your brain. This was interpersonal communication. So the communication carried out with through words. Next, that is intrapersonal communication. Now, interpersonal communication. This type of communication is also called dynamic communication and takes place between two or more individuals. So if you think in yourself, it is not intrapersonal communication. While if you are sharing the knowledge or information or the views through others, or through, there is communication going on between two or more members, it is not interpersonal communication. This method involves various aspects of communication such as listening, speaking, and responding through words. Basic example is chit-chatting with our friends. This is a real-time example. Small group communication. This is a type of interaction that takes place in a small group between three or more people. This kind of group would involve interactions among a specific topic or commonly recognized goals. Public communication. This is communication one speaker conveys information to a large number of public, etc., etc. So there are 10 members in your class and you are being chit-chatting or you're sharing the views about a specific topic such as pandemic situation like Corona, COVID-19. So this is not small group communication. You will throw the words among other person and he throws the output message received from you. This is small group communication. If there are any guest lectures or any meetings, one person will speak or share views to the large group of people. So this type of communication is known as public communication. Next, mass communication. Mass communication takes place when a small group of people pass down information to a large number of various populations used an exclusive medium of communication. This type of communication adopts a special kind of medium that would facilitate the information to reach a wide variety of people. Some examples of mass communication are newspapers, radio, television, posters, etc. So, if you are sharing a view in a platform such as in a television news channels like TV9, NTV, etc., so it will be passed to very vast number of people in a specific time. So this is mass communication. In a single click, it is going to reach many people. Now, this is about verbal communication. Now, non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communication encompasses a whole cost of physicalized non-verbal cues that convey emotional states and complement verbal messages. For example, you are sharing about your views about a situation, for example, an accident with your friend. So you will not share that there was an accident in some place near our home, like that. You will share the whole view within body language, like showing your hands showing your fingers, showing some gestures, with the help of the postures, with the help of the body language. You will direct the whole situation to your friend. So in this way, the non-verbal communication plays a huge and crucial role in everybody's life. So in this pattern, the communication is carried out through non-verbal. Let's go into deep. What are the types of non-verbal communication? There are many different types of forms of non-verbal communication. Some of the categories of non-verbal communication includes kinesthetics or body movements. These include deliberate hand gestures and movements like thumb ups or affirmative head shake. This is one of the most easily controllable of non-verbal forms of communication. For example, anybody is asking, will you do the work or not? You'll shake your head, like yes or no. If you are want to share a view that the work is done, the work is successful, you'll not say the whole words, the sentence like that work is successful, it has been done perfectly, clarity. No, you'll show the symbol like thumbs up. So these are the non-verbal communication formats. Next is proxemics or closeness, personal space. This is a measure of physical distance between people when they communicate. The standard amount of personal space expected by someone varies depending on setting and is somewhat culture specific. If any your friend is there, you will go closer to him. If any stranger is there, but you are conveying the message, you will not go closer to him and keep your hand on his shoulder and talk. You will maintain some distance. This is known as proxemics. Next, posture. Sitting posture is very important in non-verbal communication. While you are attending an interview, if you sit like you're sitting on a sofa at your home, it will be very rude. So the posture means the legs should be somewhat straightforward and it should be closer. The posture also declares a man's character. So the way that you sit or stand and how open your body is to others around you communicates a lot about your attitude and emotional state. Eye contact is very important. When you're saying or when you are expressing your views about the situation to others, the eye contact is very important. Then only you can know that whether the recipient is going to capture the views of you or not. Touch. Many interactions begin with an exchange of physical touch like a hug or a handshake. While you are in a professional world, you want to greet a person, you will do handshake. In the personal world, you want to greet a person, you will do hug. So it's a way of expression. Paralanguage. This category covers vocal qualities like loudness or tone of voice. Paralinguistic signals are any aspect of the sound of voice outside a direct verbal translation of words being spoken. That means the language. If the tone of voice depends on the situation, also it should be adjusted. If you are talking to someone, the tone is very small and polite. If you are shouting at someone, the tone is very big and broad. So depends on the situation, the paralanguage should be different. Facial expressions. The facial expression also communicate with the other person, not only the words. So it depends on the facial expression also you can convey your message to other persons. Next, physiology. This category includes changes in body physiology like an increase in sweat or blinking rapidly. There are nearly impossible to deliberately control. So some persons has a quality of blinking their eyes very frequently. And some sweat. In some situations, like say it is hot, some persons in 5 minutes only they'll get sweat and it will be drawn from every part of the phrase and should look some drastic. So, in the situations, it is impossible to control them, but how to control them for good look. So, here in this lecture, we have seen what is verbal and non-verbal, the importance of communication, the verbal communication, the types of verbal communication, intrapersonal, interpersonal, and non-verbal communication, the types of non-verbal communication, and what are the importance of these types of communication in our day-to-day life, and how this play a crucial role in our day-to-day life, and how this is very important for us, and what is the importance of verbal and non-verbal communication. When you are attending an interview, not only an interview, not only in professional world, in personal world also, it's very important to share our views to other person. So if you have very sufficient knowledge about a topic, if we are insufficient in expressing them or communicating with others for expressing the views of the topic, what is the use? So, damn hard skills, the soft skills are very important because so we have some amount of knowledge about the topic, but we are very efficient in expressing them. It is very important for other persons to like. For example, you have very much knowledge, but you're expressing the knowledge in such a way that it is not very clear. It means you are breaking the grammar, or you're not very efficient in expressing the knowledge, or very efficient, not efficient in interpersonal communication skills. Then what is the use of taking the knowledge? So this interpersonal, intrapersonal, and the verbal and non-verbal communication plays a crucial role in our day-to-day life. And thank you, friends. I hope my lecture is useful for you. Thanks so much. Thank you.